How's it going, guys? So pretty much right here I was giving like an intro saying that I'm back. I had to mute the volume or the sound from the first few clips on the outside because there was just so much overpowering wind noise. So I'm just going to be doing like a narration over and kind of explain things as I'm doing like a little walk around in the car. Here I'm just kind of explaining, that I was gone for a little bit, and kind of giving some pointers, kind of introducing the car. So yeah, that's all this first part is pretty much. And then right after this we get into the walk around of the vehicle. Alright guys, here it is. This is the 2010 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. And it's the GSR, and right here I'm just gonna kind of do a little walk around. I just kind of ramble on some random stuff, so I'm just gonna speed through this little walk around real quick until we get to the next clip. Alright, so in this clip, I'm just pretty much describing the characteristics of the car and pretty much what I got with it. So it's not the complete base GSR. So as you can tell, it has the HID headlights, the projectors that come standard from the factory on this package, and I just kind of zoom in on that and show you guys. And then I think in a second here I'm going to pan around to the back, and I guess I talk about the taillights, because I guess when they first came out they had the red looking taillights, which were kind of ugly in my opinion, so I'm really happy that I got, the nicer, newer looking, more modern-ish taillights. So that's pretty much all I'm explaining right there. After that I mentioned that it has the Rockford Fosgate sound system, so it has the sub in the back, and it doesn't have the head unit, the touchscreen head unit. It just has the standard head unit display, whatever you want to call it, standard dash. I will start to explain on the lower portion of the grille. I removed the air dams that kind of feed into the intercooler because they were flopping around, and I think it looks a little cooler with them off. It kind of gives it a more of an aggressive look to it. And pretty much for the rest of the video I'm just explaining what I've done to the car so far. I mentioned that as soon as I got the car, the first thing I did was swap out all the fluids. So, the transmission fluid, the differential fluid, and, swap the oil. The last guy that had the car did not really take very good care of it, I guess. Like, the oil was not changed in a long time. And there you go, I'm just kind of zooming in or getting a close-up of the intercooler. It looks pretty sick. So yeah, and just describe that I did a small little maintenance and that I'm trying to get the car into a nice healthy state before doing crazier, modifications to it. This right here, nothing special, just doing a quick look under the hood. Like I said, this was completely stock when I got it, so not really much to look at if you've seen an Evo before. Here I'm doing just another quick look of the trunk. Again, this is If you know about Evos, you understand that it's a relatively very small compartment, especially with the Rockford Fosgate sound system. You get that subwoofer that takes up a little bit more space. So here I'm pointing out that the windshield washer fluid and the battery is placed in the back of the vehicle. I do not know why, but that's what they did. So also the seats, the back seats do not fold down, so that's another thing to consider about the car. But definitely an upgrade from the space in my trunk from my last car, but yeah, not very spacious in the back. Alright, here's the quick look of the interior. Like I said, sorry if the lighting's not too good. It's the cloth Recaros. There are probably the best seats that I've ever sat in any car. I actually like them a lot better than the Corbeau seat that I had in my Miata. They're so much more comfortable, and I do not have an issue driving this car for an extended period of time with these seats. So they're great. I don't know what else to say about them. I do have the shift knob from the Miata put in this one. It's a 5-speed, so it matches, and it feels really good. And another quick look at the back seats. I don't really sit back here much, but from what everyone has told me, there is a lot of room back here. Plenty of room, very comfortable to sit in. And the back seats, to me, when I sit on them, they're really soft, and they're super comfortable. And what more can you ask for in a rally car? That's awesome. That's another bonus. Alright, so I think I'm going to do the same thing where I did with Miata, where I did kind of like a drive around portion. It's not going to be as stupid or comedic as the last vlog, but I'll try and talk a little bit more about the car. I've had it for about 2 weeks, so I can do like a basic first 2-week review, I suppose. Especially if anyone's looking for an Evo, I can give some points on what to expect, or etc. You know. Testing the angle of the camera. Alright, cool. So, setting off in the Evo. So I'm not really gonna do any hard pulls or anything like that, obviously, because it's stock. You're not really gonna hear anything or be too impressed. What's cool is since this is my first turbo car that I've actually owned, with the windows up, you can hear the turbo spool, which is awesome. And with the windows down, and if you're not blaring music or anything and you're listening carefully, you can hear the wastegate going off, and it is awesome. Let me see if you guys, I guarantee you won't be able to hear it, but it's awesome. It is so sensational. So this car, with the 5-speed, it is terrible on gas. When I'm on the freeway, I'm in 5th gear, and if you're going around 80 miles an hour, you're already at 4,000 RPMs, which is insane. So it's awesome if someone's trying to race you, I guess, because you're always in boost. And if you want to go, or if you need to pass someone, you just get on the throttle a little bit and you're gone. It's pretty awesome. Now, I'm not complaining about the gas, but I will say, just a note, it's not good on gas. Then again, who the hell buys an Evo for gas mileage? In this car, it's fast, but you feel like it's a lot faster, because with the turbo, especially when it starts to spool, there's so much drama involved with the turbo, and it kind of throws you back in your seat. It feels like you're going pretty fast, and then the turbo spools, and then you're just you're gone, which is sensational. It's a great feeling, and you drive it like that all the time because it's fun. I will say, when I got, before when I really wanted the Evo, I'm like, nothing is going to get on my nerves. I'm going to love everything about it. It's not true. There's always going to be certain things that you don't like, but it's, in no regards is it any reason not to get this car. These are little things that you could easily fix. So one thing I have to say is it doesn't have Bluetooth, which is not terrible. Like I said, that can be fixed by either getting the upgraded package or just getting another head unit. Not a big deal. But another thing that's kind of weird is it doesn't have an aux port, or an aux port for your for like music. It has like the blue and the white port that you would see on like a television or something. If you get a converter and it goes into those slots and it comes out into an aux, you can actually use that for auxiliary music, which is great, but it's kind of a hassle. So what I'd like to do is just get a head unit and not have to worry about that. Besides the trunk space, the gas, and the aux, I have no concerns about this car. It's an amazing car. I've had no issues nailing this car for the 2 weeks that I've owned it so far. And I've driven this car through traffic, and I'm not gonna say it's fun, but it's not bad. I'm gonna do kind of a light pull here, just to do a pull to show you guys. I don't know how good it's going to translate into video, but it gets up and goes pretty good, especially coming from a car that I used to own, the Sonic, that's not fast, and any means it's not fast. And stepping to a car like this is awesome. You're always going to want more power. For me, it's like, this is good, but I want more. Like, you can't buy an Evo and say you're going to keep it stock. It's just, that doesn't work. I might be wrong, but I feel like if I can get to a 400 horsepower mark, like, that'd be solid. That'd be fun, and that'd be solid. I feel like it's kind of like a sweet spot where it's a lot of power. You will be faster than most cars that you encounter on the road if you like to race people. For me, it's just, I want the feeling of, oh shit, I'm being pushed into my seat, like, fast. That's what I'm looking for. Hey, so the video ended up cutting out at 10-minute mark because that's what my phone does, and I forgot that it does that. So I'm just going to kind of continue on. If there's any questions that you guys have about my experience buying this car, or Evos in general, or maybe you have an Evo and you have some suggestions or advice or things I might want to look out for, look into, so that'd be great. Just post them down in the comments below. If you noticed, or if you've been around for a while, you know that I pretty much respond to most of my comments. Just leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and if you're new to the channel, which if you are, I'm not surprised, because this car is pretty popular in the community. So yeah, any questions, leave them down below. I'll respond for the most part. I will respond. Yeah, so as of this video, I've got 80 subscribers, which is awesome. I really appreciate all the support, and especially if you've been here through the beginning, thanks for sticking around. And like I said, if you're new, subscribe. This is pretty much what you got to look forward to, is this build that we have ahead of us, and more than likely I'm going to keep this car for a very long time. So yeah, that's going to sum it up for today's video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate it.